Hey there, sorry it's crooked, but I gotta work with what I got. Big thanks to Chug Colley, he's the man, always finding awesome stuff. So this is pulled off the History Channel. I'll put a link below to his YouTube channel, just check it out. Good work to him, man, great catch, because this is talking about everything we've been discussing, and a whole lot of other people on YouTube as well. Take a listen.
Here it is, they're talking about CERN.
Just one universe, after all. We now think that there may well be other universes popping into existence with their own big bangs and their own expansion and their own stars and perhaps even their own life.
Okay, you hear that? He just talked about, I know I haven't cranked as loud as it can go. If you can't hear it, I'm sorry. But what he said, he got some fancy pants scientist on the History Channel saying that they're starting to think that other dimensions, or I'm sorry, other universes can pop into existence. And what they're just talking about is other dimensions popping in, other realities popping into this reality, other dimensions popping into this dimension. That's what they're doing with CERN. He mentioned the Big Bang because that's what this thing does. They're all talking about the fall of light, the Big Bang, I showed in that video I made called The Fall of Light, a bunch of different movies. That's what the Independence Day fireworks represent. That's what the ball dropping on New Year's Eve represents. And then a bunch of different movies. It's all talking about the same thing that took, the big massive event that took place in the sky. Now take a listen here.
And that process can lead to a progression of universes that is never ending.
This is on the new,
universes, if not
the
necessarily
universe on the History Channel tonight.
If the Earth can dodge asteroid strikes and gamma ray bursts and rogue planet invasions, we can expect our sun to expand before burning out 5 billion years from now, incinerating the planet as the Buddhists envision. If dark energy can be trusted, the universe will continue to expand, freezing to death in the process, as the Norse predicted. Or maybe another universe will spring to life from the corpse of the old one, as some Hindus suggest.
They're telling us.
Whether we look to the ancient lore of the Aztecs.
It's all the same. We've shown this 1,000 times. All the cultures show this. And the asteroids, the rogue planet, the sun. It's funny that, you know, all this stuff we know about and we believe is going to happen, or at least some of us. Anyway, but I just wanted to show that this is what we're talking about here. It's this event that whenever this took place the last time is what it seems, at least in theory anyways, it seems to be the thing that severed the connection, the physical connection, the bridge, the ladder, the rainbow road, whatever, the physical connection to God. So now to me it seems like they're trying to stomp out the spiritual connection with the microchip and just trying to take out the soul altogether through all this transhumanism and all this crazy DNA genetic modification, which in my opinion now is what Fukushima was for. This thing in CERN and all this radiation, it's all about mutation of the DNA and our evolving and all this kind of what have you. And so it was this event, this is the part 2 again of the first part, because whenever this took place, you see, I don't know if Christ is the one who actually did it, or on the part 1 I had people commenting saying it was the Nephilim that severed the connection. I've heard that we've been tricked into it. That we got tricked into doing it. I've been told that the Nephilim did it. Now I'm starting to wonder if Jesus Christ is the one who actually severed the connection, not because he's a bad guy, because he had to do it, because in the Lawnmower Man, when it took place in that movie, he did it to contain Satan, basically. And it's just very interesting that we're talking about time and space and dimensions and all this stuff, because there is a book, or there's many books, but as you can see here, there's a legend. There's a legend that the birth of Jesus Christ, everything stopped still. The night birds flying in the midair became motionless. The shepherd reaching his crook towards the sheep held it still. The people eating a meal held their hands midway between the dish and the mouth, and that everyone awake had a sudden inclination to be still. So it's very interesting that there's, and who knows, it's a legend. Could be true, might not be. I don't know, we weren't there though. It's just as possible as anything else though, right? So, and we're told that Jesus Christ died on the cross. And I've always wondered, because I've heard before that it necessarily wasn't the cross, because the cross is just an X, the Saturn X, but one side was longer than the other so they could prop them up so they had something to stand them up on. So the cross could be a metaphor for crossing dimensions, and when maybe, you know, he had, I don't know. I mean, I just think that's very interesting when you start talking about time and space stopping and merging of dimensions and possibly him having something to do with severing the connections, you know, cutting Satan off, containing Satan with the crossing between dimensions. I don't know, because the Shroud of Turin, you know, this is an electrical universe, and as much as Dave Johnson is a crazy guy, man, says some crazy things, I do think his theory that that's electrical burns on that thing is just as good as theory as anything. And if you look right here, there is still no consensus on how this thing even came about. So one theory about those being electrical burns is just as good as any theory anybody else has, because no one can agree or say for sure what caused that thing. So it almost makes you wonder if Jesus really was crossing dimensions and crossing into this one or crossing out of that one, whenever he did that, had something to do with the fall of light, the connection being severed, and all just to contain Satan. I don't know, because it's like in the Lawnmower Man and many of other stories that those guys are trapped here. So I don't know. I just find this stuff pretty cussing fascinating. Just wish we could get to the bottom of it. So History Channel's talking about it and telling you that, you know, they're really starting to think that different universes could pop into existence, right? That's what they're doing with CERN, trying to make another dimension pop into this one. So I don't know, I just wanted to share that. So thank you again to Chug Collet for finding that and posting that awesome stuff. And thank you to all the subscribers and supporters out there who keep trying to work this stuff out. Alright, see you.